Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mind of Minister, a podcast recorded here at the Seattle Vetsuing Buddhist Temple, where we discuss questions or topics submitted by our listeners. My name is Jason Yokoyama, and I'm here with the star of our show, Reverend Katsu.
Hi, everyone.
So it's now July here in Seattle, which means that it's OBON season, or festival season for us, which is very exciting.
Yeah. Once it's coming soon, we are having lots of meetings.
That is true. It takes a lot of work and effort to put on a big festival, but I really do think that in the end, it's worth it. So for the viewers out there that don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about our OBON, or Bon Odori Festival, that the temple here in Seattle, and many temples in the United States that are part of the Buddhist Churches of America, put on a festival in July or August.
So, Jason, do you remember first time you went to the Bon Odori? How old were you?
Oh, probably young. I was probably like a kid.
Maybe still a baby?
Probably. I think a lot of us that grew up at the temple, like this was just a part of something that we did every summer. Our parents would help and volunteer and work, and us kids would run around. And then, you know, as you get older, you work through different food booths that we have at OBON until, of course, you reach the age where you can go to the beer garden, and then you spend all of your time there.
So that's, one big difference between temple in the United States and temple in Japan. Most of the temple, I would say 99% of the temple in BCA, Buddhist Churches of America, have Bon Odori. But in Japan, they have OBON service, but they don't have Bon Odori. Most of the temple, they don't do Bon Odori. That's, I think, one big difference between temples in Japan and temples in the United States.
Is that just because, like in the United States, I mean, excluding Hawaii, which is a different district, and the Buddhist Church of America, there's only like 50 to 60 temples. Whereas in Japan, there's hundreds, thousands of temples.
Yeah, maybe 10,000.
10,000 temples. And so is it just difficult for each family to put on a festival?
Yeah, that's one reason. Of course, some bigger temple, like our mother temple, Honganji, or Tsukiji Honganji, they have Bon Odori. But the local temple, like my family temple, there's no Bon Odori. Well, sometimes, occasionally, because our temple has a Dharma school, so that's why we have a Bon Odori sometimes, but not every year, not annually we are having Bon Odori in Japan.
Oh,
that's a different.
It sounds nice. To be honest, it's sometimes to not plan everything. But I guess for all of our viewers, Sensei, could you describe what OBON or Bon Odori is to maybe someone that is not familiar with it?
So OBON is one Buddhist tradition. Then I would say Buddhist tradition, then another aspect is a Japanese tradition too. So the Bon Odori is a Odori means dancing, right? Dancing. So Bon Odori is during the OBON season, we dance. So sounds like it is kind of one summer festival. So one aspect is, of course, it is a cultural aspect. Lots of people get together, then we dance traditional dance. So that's one aspect, cultural aspect of Bon Odori. But of course, Bon Odori is held at a Buddhist temple. So that's why there is a religious aspect of the Bon Odori as well. So that's one is we show our respect to our loved ones, our ancestors. That's another aspect of the Bon Odori, OBON.
And so then, as you mentioned, it's typically we have it at the temple, and we have a special service every year for OBON, which is called the Hatsubon service. Can you describe that a little bit to people that may not be familiar with that?
So Hatsu means the first. First, Bon is a first OBON. So those who the family lost their family member, then within this 1 year, then for them, this is the first Bon Odori season. So this is special because it is the first time. So according to the OBON traditions, So during the OBON season, ancestors are coming back to this world to visit us. Then at the end of the OBON season, our ancestors are going back to the other world. So this is a more like a general understanding of OBON. So that's why there's so many different traditions to welcoming our ancestors to coming back to this world. Another is lots of tradition to sending off our ancestors to the other world.
And so, as Sensei mentioned, every year here at our temple, we have a Obon Odori festival, we have a Hatsubon service. Not only do they take place at our temple in typical years, but they also take place at cemeteries in the nearby area where Sensei or other members of our staff will go to attend services for those Hatsubon families. But really, anyone can attend a Hatsubon service if you're interested. Here's my plug. Please visit our website for information about Hatsubon services that will be going on in our area, if you're local to Seattle. If you are not local to Seattle and listening from afar, you can visit the Buddhist Churches of America website to find a temple near you and look to see if there is an Obon festival that you can attend to experience our tradition of welcoming our ancestors, dancing together with our friends and family and new people. For example, I'm currently wearing today my hapi, which is a Japanese coat, I guess, is decent enough translation that we wear during festivals. It's very festive looking. Something, what does this say?
It is Hino-Yojin. It's a be careful about the fire. That's a good one.
That's true. Be careful about the fire. There's another plug we have. But Sensei, you mentioned that Bon Odori means dance, which is a major part, at least of our festivals here in Seattle, but also at some other temples. So we have a number of different Japanese traditional folk dances that we do. Some are very specific to our temple. Some are specific to other temples. What I find very interesting is that you may go to different obons and you see they're going to dance this dance. You think you know what it is. And then you start to dance and it's completely different. Because there's a bunch of regional differences between everything. But out of everything, Sensei, what would you say that your favorite obon dance is?
Well, the one is maybe Tankobushi. Even I can dance. That's so easy to dance. So anyone can follow. Everyone can enjoy the dancing of Tankobushi. That's one. Then, yes, Seattle has a lot of different dancing. So I like those variety of dancing. Some is really traditional. Some of the dancing are really related to the Jodo Shinshu teachings. Some of them are we are using some new, more modern type of dancing. So it is really variety of dancing I like. How about you? What is your favorite dance?
I do like all of them. Tankobushi, or the coal miner dance, is a fan favorite, I think, of a lot of different people. I think that I like, not to say that the traditional Jodo Shinshu dances aren't great. I like more modern dances. My favorite dance is, so I guess in retrospect, to clarify, not only are the dancing different, sometimes you have different equipment, like things that you dance with. For example, a tenagui or a towel. We dance with these round uchiwa fans. We have the folding sensu fans that we dance with. And I like dances where you get a prop, I guess, because I think it's really fun. And I think they look very pretty. But I would say that my favorite dance is probably Manmaru Ondo. Because you have one uchiwa fan, you spin the fan. It's really fun.
That's one of my son's favorite dancing too.
So we can dance together this year.
Do you know why do we dance?
Why do we dance?
Oh,
you mean the origin of Obon?
Well, yeah. Do you know anything about?
Why don't you tell me about it?
So, of course, sometimes some reverend is saying, we just dance just for fun. That's one aspect of dancing, of course. But at the same time, I also talked about a little bit, but OBON has a religious aspect too. So of course there is an origin of OBON. So about 2,500 years ago in India, there is one Shakyamuni Buddha's disciple. His name is Moggallana. Moggallana's mother passed away. Then one day, Moggallana was kind of remembering, thinking about his mother, how my mother is doing. So then he has a kind of supernatural power to see how his mother is doing. Then he tried to look for his mother, all different world, different realms. Then he thought his mother is in the good place. However, he found his mother in the realm of a hungry ghost. Do you know how the realm of a hungry ghost looks like?
Not a good place. I think there's a bunch of, I guess this brings us back to like all of the different Buddhist realms. And the realm of hungry ghosts, I guess, is, for lack of a better word, one of the hells.
Well, yes. So it is said those who are really greedy people was sent to this realm. Then all the beings, the stomach was swelling. Then whatever we serve the food turned into the fire or ashes. So those beings cannot eat anything. So always they are thirsty and hungry. So that's why it is called realm of a hungry ghost. So because Moggallana's mother was sent to the realm of a hungry ghost, of course, as a son of his mother, so he tried to rescue his mother. But using his own power, he cannot do anything. He cannot help. Even he tried to serve water turned into the fire. So that's why he didn't know what to do. So then he asked his teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Then Shakyamuni Buddha said, at that time, that was time of July. So July was all the monks were having the summer retreat. So that's why accumulate all the monks' merit or power. So then serve food or bedding or, to donate those food to the summer retreat to the Buddhist monks. Then using all the Buddhist monks' power or practice, then try to save his mother. Then Moggallana followed Shakyamuni Buddha's advice. Then Moggallana's mother was saved, reborn to Pure Land. So because his mother was saved, Moggallana was so happy. Then when he was so happy, then started dancing. The other monks or everyone was so happy to see that. So that's why everybody started dancing. So that's why this is the origin of OBON, it's said. So OBON dancing is, of course, aspect of just for fun to dance. But at the same time, following this origin story of OBON story, we think about our ancestors, or we think about our loved one who passed away before us. So that's a origin of OBON.
Good. And I think that thinking about that brings up, or is a good segue into a question that one of our listeners submitted about relating to their deceased ancestors. And so I'm going to read the question now, which is, Sensei, how do we relate to the deceased spirits of our ancestors? Some Buddhist sects transfer merit, conduct rituals, and suggest our lives are affected by ancestors' karma, that we can help them, make monetary offerings on their behalf, pray for them, etc., just like Moggallana did for his mother to bring her out of the realm of hungry ghosts. But this person says, Jodo Shinshu doesn't take this view. Is that correct?
So, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, because, I didn't study about other Buddhism, so I cannot speak about that. But probably people start thinking, because try to send the merit, offering the food, monetary donations, then try to send the merit to our ancestors, then our ancestors to be born in the better place. So that's we think. But Jodo Shinshu teachings is different because we are receiving all the merit from Amida Buddha. So we don't have to offer anything to make our ancestors be born into the better place, because that's Amida Buddha already takes care of for us. So we are born into the Pure Land, then becoming a Buddha. Then after becoming a Buddha, our teaching, it says, those loved ones who passed away before us, attaining enlightenment, then after that, coming back to this world as a bodhisattva and guiding us. So in this way, we don't have to send a merit to our loved one. Rather, our loved one is guiding us, sending us the guidance. So we try to receive it. So when I think about the Moggalana's story, so I think there's two important teaching I'm learning from the Moggalana's story. So one is, of course, Moggalana remembered his mother. Try to find a connection or ties between my life and his mother's life, our loved one's life. So thinking about our loved one, our ancestors, that's one thing. The two is, this is a maybe different, unique view of the Jodo Shinshu, but we see our loved one as a bodhisattva. So bodhisattva is guiding us. In this way, Moggalana's mother was also the bodhisattva, is showing her, showing how she's living in the realm of hungry ghost, then making his son Moggalana the opportunity to make a donation. So, he went to visit Shakyamuni Buddha, then, receiving the guidance, then making a donation, dana, to the monks. So this means his mother is giving his son the opportunity to make a donation. So in this way, OBON is a time to make a donation, then making offerings, then cultivate the spirit of dana in our heart, in our mind. So that's my appreciation of Moggalana's story. So that's why we offer fruit or somen noodle. The OBON dancing also offering to our ancestors, our Buddha. So in this way, everything is opportunity given for us to cultivate the dana in our heart, in our mind.
I've never really thought about it that way before. I think for most people, a lot of people don't realize that, there's a religious connection to OBON. A lot of people think, okay, it's a fun festival that I get to go to. I get to eat good food. I hang out with my friends, drink in the beer garden, listen to live music, dance in the street. And that's like what OBON is.
Well, again, that's also important. That's also important.
I was going to say it wasn't important, but that's like what it is. But I think it's like this duality, the two sides, that it's also a time for us to reflect on inner self, on dana, on selfless giving, on our connections to our friends and family, our ancestors. And so I think for me personally, I'm going to start thinking more about this, especially because I guess, unfortunately, I am a Hatsubon family here. I guess, unfortunately, I was a Hatsubon family last year too. So a lot of meaningful obons have been happening for me, but they're all good things.
The obon dancing, we, as you said, enjoy dancing together with our friends or all the Sangha members. Then also, our more spiritual way, we are dancing together with our ancestors too. So our ancestors also here with us. We cannot see them, but they are here and dancing with us, enjoying the Buddha Dharma with us. So that's maybe we can think about, that's a little bit different point of view of this OBON dancing.
Now I'm very excited for OBON to happen, to dance with everybody. It's always an exciting time. But I do think that that's all the time we have for today. Thank you to Sensei and our producer Alex for running our camera and sound. And thank you to all of our listeners and for those of you that have submitted questions. Once again, we are running low on questions. So if you have any questions for Sensei, please don't hesitate to submit them. The links can be found in the description below. And if you like what you hear, tune in to our next episode. For those of you in the Seattle area that are interested in attending our OBON festival, please attend and come and visit us. You can meet Sensei in person if you're lucky. Our Seattle Bonodori has been going on. This will be our 92nd annual year. We are also an Seafair event, probably I think one of the oldest continuously running Seafair events. But it will be held this year, July 20th and 21st, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on both days. We have, as our lovely poster says, Japanese folk dancing. We'll have a variety of food. We'll have our beer garden. We'll have live music. So please think about attending if you're free and come dance with all of us. For more information, you can also look online. And for those of you not in the Seattle area, I really do encourage you to seek out your nearest temple. Look for an OBON festival and experience how much fun it is to dance and be together and to celebrate this wonderful season. And so once again, I'm Jason.
I'm Reverend Katsu.
And thank you for tuning in.